What's up, guys? Here's to another episode. As always, we're going to begin with the intro. Give me 1 second. I think the audio is a little off. Uh, that should be better. I'll try that again with the intro. What's up, guys? How's it going today? How's everyone's week, day? Little late today. Was finishing up eating, and I did some updates on my PC, so I was trying to make everything work again how it was. So it's working again. But anyways, welcome back to another sports talk show. I'm yours truly, Gio. Today is going to be a fun show. We're going to obviously highlight a very, very important game this week between the Niners and the Eagles. Probably, you could say, the two best teams in the NFL. Should be a good game, hopefully. Um, Obviously, we'll recap what happened Thanksgiving. Wonderful Thanksgiving. Wonderful Thanksgiving for me. Wonderful Thanksgiving for all my Niners fans. And I know it was a wonderful Thanksgiving for all my Seattle Seahawks fans, for all the rats. They enjoyed it. I hope, they enjoyed their turkey. I hope, they enjoyed all the little scraps that were left over. I hope everything went well because it went well for me. Anyways, but I guess we could start there. We could start there because that was last week. That was Thursday. It seemed like an eternity now. I totally forgot about them. But I've gotten a lot of questions of where the Seahawks at, and I've gotten questions where's one? This one right here by my good friend Alberto. Why are the Seahawks so quiet this week? Not a lot of chirp from them. Not a lot of um not much they could say. I mean, oh, that was so satisfying seeing the Niners eat the turkey leg on their home field. It was 10 years coming for us. I remember watching that game like it was yesterday when Sherman, Russell Wilson, they ate the turkey leg, and oh, so satisfying. Chef's kiss. But let's try to be civil. Where do the Seahawks go from here? Well, they got one tomorrow against the Cowboys, against the almighty Cowboys, who had an impressive win, but again, against Washington, they're not really that good. But hey, Cowboys handled business. They needed to do what they needed to do. Dak, like I said, he's playing great. He's playing great. I think he had like 4 or 5 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, Pollard, even Brandon Books, he got a touchdown. So looks tough tomorrow. Looks tough tomorrow for them. After that, I think they play us, obviously. After that, hey, if they could still split with us, they could come motivated. But like I said, I don't. Geno Smith, he looked rattled. Yeah, like I talked on the previous show. We got to him. Chase, Bosa, Armstead, Hargrave. So I feel like it's going to be the same. Them losing Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet, he's a bigger back, but he's a lot slower. DK, he got the clamps on by Mooney Ward. He handled business. He was about that business. So it looks tough. It looks tough for them. But I'm never, obviously I'm enjoying this victory. But, I'm always going to have PTSD seeing that blue and green. But they don't have them. They don't have Russell Wilson back there anymore because, with respect to Russell Wilson, because he, many games throughout the years that he would run 30 yards back, get chased, throw it down the field, touchdown. I'm still scarred. So now we're 4-0 against them. We've beaten them 4 straight. Feels good to be on this side now. But that's in the future. Sorry. Let me mute that. That's unprofessional. But that's in the future. This week we got the Eagles. But before we get there, last one on Tony and the Sea Chickens. Tony, where you at? Tony, so Tony, right? I invite him over to watch the game with me. He's scared, typical rat. He's like, oh, you know. So I was like, it's fine, come after. If you no, not gonna be me. No, Tony had previous plans with his brother. He was gonna watch the game with them, enjoy the meal with Tony, with Nene, his wife, Van's family. Shout out to the real Tony, Van's dad. He's the real Tony. Big Niners fans. Mi respetos a him. So he watched it over there, tried to talk smack, got handled. And then I said, oh, pues after that, come to my house. My dad, and he'll be here. You can sit, chill with the family. He comes with, him with his Marshawn Lunch jersey, still talking. Oh, it wasn't 50. You can only score 35. Y'all suck. Watch next week against the Eagles. They'll dominate you. So typical things Tony would say, typical things rats would say. They even when they get smacked like that, they still talk. They still that's what they do. That's all they know how to do. They talk, 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 talk. But when we stand on business, they can't handle it, and they gotta pick another team to root for. So that's typical rat behavior, typical Tony behavior. So shout out to Tony. I know he watches this late. Hope you're having a wonderful shift, and I hope when you're helping someone out, bringing their food, I hope they don't tip you. Anyways, we move forward. So we'll go to the infamous, the controversial top Geo power rankings for this week. Number one, no doubt about it. The Eagles are number one team right now in the NFL. They took care of the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, us Niners fans, we were hoping that the Buffalo Bills could help us out. They did not. So the number one seed for the Niners, it looks tough to get. Obviously, if we do beat them this week, we would hope the Eagles lose one more game. Maybe the Cowboys help us out, but it looks tough. This team, fandom aside, like I said, I'm a big Niners fan. Fandom aside, Eagles, man, you always feel that they're going to come back. This past game, Jalen Hurts was clutch. I was hearing people saying, Jalen Hurts, he starts off slow, and then when the going gets tough, when you got to get it, he's going to get it. He had a great second half game. He handled everything. He handled the Bills, and they got the win. It sucked. You could say questionable. The refs. You could talk about the refs. You can talk about all these things, but at the end of the day, the Eagles won. They took care of the Bills, and now they're going to face us, the Niners. One thing I want to say about Buffalo, man, about Josh Allen. So, I think they said it on the broadcast that Josh Allen, I think he was 0-5 in overtime games, 0-4, something like that. But on all those games, he never got the chance to get the ball. He finally gets a chance to start with it, to start with the ball, to go, show that, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, win the game. Unfortunately, he got 3 points. He couldn't, it was in their hands to win it throughout the whole game. Mistakes, interceptions. I don't know about Buffalo. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. So, Eagles, we'll get back to the top five. I'll get more into the Eagles, but Eagles number one. Number two, like I said, I still got to put the Chiefs number two. If you have Mahomes, shout out to my Raiders fans. For a second, y'all were 14-0 on top of them, but Mahomes, he does Mahomes things, came back. But for the Raiders fans, obviously, I think you guys, this season's already a win for you guys. You guys got rid of McDaniels. You guys are just, I guess, enjoying the games, seeing what players are going to stay with you guys, what players you guys can develop to keep, what players got to go. Josh Jacobs, he had a great game. Devontae Adams is Devontae Adams. Connolly wasn't bad, but obviously he ain't that good. So I think you guys are more focused on next season. If you guys get another couple wins, great. But maybe you guys are looking more, to lose a couple more games to get better draft position. But That's number two. The Chiefs, not the Raiders. Chiefs number two. Number three, Bang Bang Niner Gang. We're there. And can't put them above. I'll take that back. I'll take no, yeah, number three Niners. Number three Niners because the Ravens disappointed me. I feel like they should have handled business as well, but it was a pretty close games against the Chargers. So number three, the Niners. Um, we looking good. McCaffrey, could he be an MVP of the season? For sure, he's going to win Offensive Player of the Year. But McCaffrey, man, he's our team. Brock Purdy did what he had to do. He had a clutch touchdown to Ayuk. Kyle Shanahan said that was not the read. That play was designed to be a check down. He saw the bigger play, threw it, something Jimmy would never do. This is what I've always asked for in a quarterback to do. So he handled it. Mooney Ward, probably defensive MVP of the game. He handled BK Metcalf. All around, this team is playing good. But this upcoming week is a big test. This right here, I'll get into it. Time to put up or shut up. Number 4, Ravens. They are top of the AFC. But like I said, they didn't look dominant against the Chargers. And like I say, every week I give props to Justin Herbert. But the Chargers are not a good team. And I felt like, it was a little too close on prime time. So I'll put number 4. Number 5, the Cowboys. Gotta show love to the Cowboys. Gotta show love to Wani. Like I said, right now they are behind Eagles, Niners. You could say the Lions, but I don't believe in the Lions because they did lose. Cowboys are the third best team in the NFC. So Cowboys are the fifth team. So we got Eagles, Chiefs, Niners, Ravens, Cowgirls. Let's see, I got a couple comments here. They find a way to win. Referring to Eagles, I think, yeah, that's right. And that's right. Yeah. That's a good top 5 for you, Bunny. But yeah, I mean, they find a way to win. It's going to be tough to beat them, and we can jump into it. So I got a couple questions about the game. So what are the keys to getting the W against the Eagles for the Niners? Number 1 key is being good on defense, first and second down. The Eagles, they don't play first and they don't, their mindset is not first and 10, it's first and 8 for them, because that, whatever you want to call it, tush push, brotherly shove, looks unstoppable. They can get 3 yards off it. So the Niners defense, we have to first and second down, either sack, make them lose some yardage, don't get them in third and short, because if they're like third and 5, they'll run the ball, and if it's fourth and 2, fourth and 1, I mean, it's basically they get the first down. Like that's tough to stop that tush push. So that would be the key. Man, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, it's gonna be tough on our DBs. So I think our D line has to, pressure Jalen Hurts, try to play like we did against Geno Smith, make him feel uncomfortable. He does tend to fumble. Jalen Hurts, he does run. He's a little careless with the ball, but it could also be a kryptonite of us if we rush him and we don't protect the gaps, because he could just run through that. He can get 10 yards with his legs. So it's going to be a chess match against them. It's going to be tough. I don't see it being a blowout either way. It's going to be a tough game. It might be decided by kickers, and I do not like our kicker. The Eagles kicker, man, he kicked a 59-yard field goal with rain. Shit. So it's gonna be a close one, man. That on defense. On offense, the Eagles defense ain't as good as last year, I will say. Obviously, their D line is good. Jalen Carter, monster. But their linebackers, their corners, they do hold a lot. So if we get a couple good calls, but I think the key is, I feel like they're gonna try to cover Ayuk. They might bracket him. They might put Slay on him and the safety. So it has to be Debo, Kittle, and obviously CMC. They're the ones that are gonna have to basically yak bros, get those, a lot of screens, a lot of short passes, because if we remember the NFC game, we tried to do a long developing play with a play action. What happened? Their D line, they're trained to just go to the quarterback. They don't care about the fake of us handing the ball. They went straight to Purdy, injured his arm. So we're gonna have to do a lot of quick passing, run the ball. I feel like if we can run the ball on them, have clock management, we should be able to get that dub. But it's gonna be tough. It won't be easy. So that would be my keys on offense for the Niners. And the last one would be Moody. Like I said, I feel like this game's gonna be close. Might be a game-winning touchdown. I not confident in Jake Moody. He's when we're winning, when we're up, easy. But when we needed it against the Browns, when we've needed, I think against the Vikings, he missed. When the pressure is on him, he misses, and that environment in Philly is going to be a tough environment. The pressure is going to be on, and I'm not confident in him getting a game winner. Like I don't know, he missed it from 40 yards. That's nothing. Actually, 39, 38 yards. That's nothing to a NFL kicker. So that I think that's going to be. Those are the key factors for the Niners to get the dub. Now, I feel like I touched on this, but what concerns do I have with the Eagles, and how confident are you in the Niners winning? Like I said, with the Eagles, the concerns is Jalen Hurts. That's their offense. The tush push. AJ Brown. AJ Brown's a monster. I don't think he's gonna get one for D for sure. Even if we have good coverage, their O line, like I said, their O line is good. They could, our D line has to just get there quick, quick, quick. Because if you give Jalen Hurts 3-4 seconds to think, he'll bomb it to Devontae Smith or AJ Brown. Hopefully Goddard doesn't play. He has been injured, but I did hear that he wants to play. They have a couple injuries on their defense, but those are my concerns. Them defense side, I'm not really concerned. Like I said, they got a couple injuries. Their linebackers and their secondary isn't that good, but their D line is very good. So that would be my concerns with the Eagles. Confident in the Niners winning? Obviously, you got to be confident. Got to be confident. Got to, you know, set that tone from today. We're going to go in there. We're going to win, which will lead me into something I've been thinking about all week. So, obviously, you guys are Niners fans. Heartbreaking way to lose the NFC Championship on the first play. It's like, you never had a chance, to win. It felt like, we basically were with one hand. But I believe I said this throughout the offseason was, yeah, we lost. It sucked. Two of our quarterbacks got injured, but we move on. We can't be Tonys. We can't be like, well, I didn't have a quarterback. What do you want me to do? We lost, take it on the chin, and now it's time. Sunday, let's prove it. Okay. If we're the real deal, we'll take care of business. If not, then they deserve to beat us. But it's time to show up. It's time to stop talking. It's time to show up. I felt throughout the offseason it didn't look good. All these players saying like, if Purdy was there, we would have won. We don't know. So on Sunday, Purdy's gonna have to prove it. The Niners are gonna have to prove it. Um, because it's time to show up. That's my thought. It's time to show up. It's time to it's time to show up. It's time to prove it, because if we lose on Sunday, and we most likely will face them in the playoffs if both teams make it that far, and we have to go back, how confident you think the Niners would be getting that dub? And if we win, it gives us like, all right, we can beat them. Hopefully, they have to come to us in the playoffs, but if we go there, we know we can beat them, and we know that they know that. So I think we got one here. What if Purdy goes down again? You still have a chance? Nope. I would literally just play CMC as Wildcat maybe we do the tush push 4 times, try to gain those yards like that. But we saw what happened when Purdy got injured. It was a horrible game. It was basically like it sucked. Like it was unwatchable. Like it was like you got a knife and then just slowly sticking it in. So pause. Um, but Purdy, and even with Purdy, we don't know if they'll win. He's been playing good. This is the game right here, and this is the statement game for Purdy. If Purdy beats a 10-1 Eagles, he looks good doing it. Hey, we got to say, he might be the one. He might be the chosen one. So it's a this might be even a better game, or might hyped up better game, all eyes, than that Chiefs Eagles, because there's obviously some bad blood. Shout out Taylor Swift between these two teams. So it's the game of might be the game of the season. Hopefully, I don't see a blowout, but hopefully it's not a blowout either way. It won't be fun. But that's my thoughts on the Eagles Niners. Go Niners. Prediction 27-24 Niners. Jake Moody, game winner. You heard it here first. Clip it. All right. We move on. Let's see. What do I want to talk about? Let's talk about this. Um, so I'll piggy off this question, but thoughts on Joshua Dobbs? Was it just a bad game? I think, man, I did not watch half of that game. I watched the last quarter. Horrible game. Horrible game. Two crappy teams, the Vikings, even though they beat us, but obviously with no Kirk Cousins, right? And the Bears, who suck, except DJ Moore. He's good. Shout out. But Joshua Dobbs, I still think he's that quarterback that you grab. He's like a bridge quarterback. He's gonna win you a couple games, but he's not a team you want to build. He's not a quarterback you want to grab to start your team. He's a quarterback you grab. Maybe you draft a younger quarterback, develop him. Joshua Dobbs will get it done. That's my thoughts on him. Great story. He's been bouncing around. He's had a couple good games, couple comebacks. Yesterday, he probably had an off day. I mean, I saw some of the interceptions. I think the fourth one was kind of like crazy. It bounced off a player, then the other player caught it. I didn't see the other three, so I don't know how bad they were. But what I wanted to piggy off is that 2021 quarterback class: Lawrence, Trey Lance, um, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, McCorkle, aka Mac Jones. What have we learned of these quarterbacks? Are they all? I mean, the only one that really, and you could still say some things, but Trevor Lawrence. Obviously, everyone knew Trevor Lawrence was good. Can't miss. The Jaguars. Everyone would have picked Trevor Lawrence number one. He was dominating in Clemson, high school. There used to be a show. I think it was called like the Elite 11, where I think Justin Fields and Lawrence were in that season. They have like the best quarterbacks in high school, and it was like who's the best. It was like they picked 10 of them from the country, and who's like the number one. And I think Lawrence won it, or I think Justin Fields won it. But from there, you knew from there they were already talking about him. So that one was easy. Then we have the pick out. The next quarterback chosen was Wilson. From what we've all seen, we can determine ass. How much ass? Kim Kardashian or who else? Someone else with bigger ass. That's how ass he is. Um, it didn't work out. I mean, that defense is elite. All he had to do was give it to his playmakers. He couldn't. So I think we know him. He's ass. Trey Lance. We still don't know. He hasn't really played. He played 3 games for the Niners. He's in the Cowboys. He's the third string quarterback. Who knows? Justin Fields. you could say a who knows as well, but we've seen them, play throughout. He has 30 games already, and he has great games. Sometimes you could see the flashes, but then he holds the ball too long. Maybe he can't read the defense. Might be ass. Mac Jones ass. That one, I called it. Where's George at? George is never here. Fake fan. He asked, and yeah, I mean he asked. So Demi wrote, Cardi B, ass. These right here, boom, 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 boom. Mac Jones ass. Yeah, I mean that's it shows that the draft, the NFL draft is it's a crapshoot. It's tough to determine to actually be 100% sure it's gonna pan out. Like obviously Trevor Lawrence, easy pick. Nick Bosa, another one, easy. Um, Burrow, I mean, you could say there were still questions about him, but he panned out good. This year, Bryce Young, his the coach got fired. He hasn't been looking good. You could say, I'm still gonna say, maybe if you put a team around him, he'll play better because I mean he just has out there Thielen. That's it. But they don't have draft picks. They don't have, I think, the cap space to do anything around Bryce Young. So in a couple years, we might be saying, man, you could have had CJ Stroud, who amazing. CJ Stroud looks good. And he's doing it, he's doing it with a team that doesn't have a lot either. So I think CJ Stroud is gonna be good. He might be the next big thing in the NFL. Like I said, he's doing it with nothing. He's doing it with what? Dell, and who does he have? The running back Singletary, receivers. I know my waiver wire people that grab their receivers. So thoughts on that quarterback? It was five quarterbacks, only one panned out. Niners gave up a lot to try to get one of them. We lost 31st round picks, but it didn't really affect us. It would have been nice to have those first round picks to grab some O linemen, to grab. I mean, it's really be the O line because our whole team stacked. But those other teams, the Jets, they basically punted a year. Let's see how Aaron. Can't believe I'm blanking on his name. Aaron Rodgers. Let's see how he does with them because, like I said, that defense is good. They got a couple playmakers: Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall, Patriots. Bill Belichick might not be there anymore. Yes, acabó. The dynasty, it was amazing. I don't know any Patriots fans anymore. George, my brother, they don't rep him no more. And then you got the Bears. They might luck out because they have the first pick this upcoming draft. But is Caleb Williams the answer? Do you trade that away and see? I mean, I don't know if you can even see what Justin Fields has because next year is basically his last year, or else you got to pay him after. So, yeah, I was just thinking about that, how that draft class was kind of shitty. But we move on. There's a couple fun ones here. Let's see. Okay. Before that, we'll go to time. We'll talk some Warriors. So, time to bench Clay. I feel like with Clay Thompson, he'll be better off coming off the bench. I feel like we've talked about this before on this show where he still thinks he's him. Unfortunately, he's not him no more. Obviously, he had a couple injuries, but if he comes off the bench, you know, gets in a rhythm, starts hitting some threes, be, a reliable person to come off the bench, I think it'll be better for him. It'll be better for him, better for the team. But I feel like what we've talked about, they do play today against the Kings for the play-in tournament, but they are, I think, they're 9-8 right now. But I think he should come off the bench. Yeah. Who should take his spot? Maybe. Maybe you can do Chris Paul. Maybe Kuminga. But this, like I feel like we've said, this team needs. I think they need to make a trade. They need to make a trade for give up on some players, get some role players, maybe another legit starter, and we'll see. But Draymond, he's back. He's coming back right now. This is his first game back. They haven't played with him. He's always, like I said, he does the dirty work. When he's in the zone, he gets in the zone. With the backpack, he might hit the three. But when he gets in his head, when he makes dumb mistakes, obviously the team feels it. But I think, yeah, he should come off the bench as Clay Thompson. Now, last week, well, actually, Chelsea, man, I wake up, I see it's 1-1 against Newcastle. I'm like, cool. Let me enjoy the second half. It's going to be a fun one. We're riding a cool streak. We beat the Super Spurs. We tied against Man City, sorry. And I'm like, Newcastle's kind of like on a little slump. It should be a good, fun game. We might be able to win it. I turn it on. They score. It's fine. 2-1, no problem. I don't know what Thiago Silva does. He passes it to the forward who hasn't scored all season. He scores 3-1. And then fucking Gordon, he does his dirty, making it 4-1. Horrible game. Horrible game. Very inconsistent from Chelsea. That's been our season, man. We'll play some great games, then we'll have some inconsistency. Obviously next week should be a bounce back game. Get the win. Oh yeah, Reece James, dumb red card, man. You get the yellow by kicking the ball, dumb. And then obviously you had to foul the player. That's the second yellow. You're our captain. You can't be making those mistakes. You can't, you're our captain. You gotta be the example. He's a great player. I think he's been injured a lot, but he's one of the best right backs, in the world, I would say. He can go up, he defends well, he's strong, fast, he can shoot, great crosser, but use your head, man. Shout out to all my Newcastle fans. I know we got some here. Like Pepe's Newcastle. Great team, man. I like Gordon, he's good. The Paraguayan dude, Almiron, he's good. Jolington, great players, great team. Um, which brings me, how many of you guys, and if you guys watch this later, how many of you guys watch Goal, and how many of you guys for a little bit were like interested in Newcastle? I remember watching that movie. Now, as I watched it as an adult, I'm like, damn, it looks hella fake, like when they're playing. But when I was watching, I was like, I wonder how they do that, having the character, be on the field, play like in the game. Like, did they actually have him on the team playing, with real players? But now when you watch it, you could tell like they just digital whatever, they green screen. And I used to always think, what's his name, the like his mentor on the team, that white dude that's good, that gets transferred to Real Madrid. I always thought he was a real player, but he's an actor. And I was like, oh damn, I always thought he was a player when I was younger, obviously. But I remember watching those movies, great movies. Number one, number two, number three. I never watched, but I heard it. It didn't even have Santiago Munoz anymore, aka he was the main character in the movie. But man, great movie. The one, when his dad doesn't believe in him, that he wants him to be a gardener. He takes a risk. He goes. He doesn't make it at first, but then he does. And then his dad stumbles upon him in the bar watching the game, and he says, "Oh, that's my son." And then at the end of the movie, obviously the spoiler alert, the father, he passes away, but Santiago Munoz, he finds out that his dad watched him play, because I guess before he would never watch him play. So it's a touchy movie. Number two, I think, is good. When he's with Real Madrid, you get to the Zidane and all that. Great movies. The Michael Owen days, yeah. So if you remember, right, in the second movie, Michael Owen goes back to Newcastle, and then Real Madrid gets him. That's the swap. It's a classic, yeah, classic. Great movie. Great movie. I know, Bonnie, you're here, man. You should ask some movie questions, because I'm also a movie head. Best movie of all time, Dark Knight. No competition. Um, Leonardo DiCaprio, Best Actor, number one, GOAT. But now, the fun ones. Oh, before that, let's talk about last week's game. Obviously, the game was going on while we were on the show, but was Honduras robbed? So I ended up watching, I believe, what, extra time and PKs of that game. So I didn't know what was going on. But my dad, he told me they added 10 minutes. The Honduras players were wasting time. And, at the end, Mexico got to tie it. You can say what you want, Rob. Rules are rules, but this is what I will say. It shouldn't even have gotten to that point. Mexico should have handled, if we're one of the top teams in the CONCACAF, we should be able to handle, this is a two-leg game. We should be able to handle this game. We shouldn't have gotten to this point. They were wasting time. You could say, whatever, right? But man, I don't know what's that guy. The guy with the curly hair, he shot it 3 times, man, and he missed it twice. Like, why do people shoot the penalties like that? Just I was always taught before you kick it, you in your mind you pick a side. You try to you're just decisive. You don't overthink it because when you overthink it, you miss. And that little stutter thing, he did it twice. He missed. The goalie moved. Yeah, he moved. But Mexico should have handled that game. Brings a lot of questions. We were this close of not playing Copa America, which I think is very vital for the Mexican team to play. Because Copa Oro, we don't benefit from it. There is no competitive benefit for the team. I mean, we were almost going to lose to Honduras. But what I'm trying to get at is they should be playing teams like Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, Colombia, teams that are good to feel. Because you guys don't remember, I remember when we would play Copa America, it was exciting, and Mexico would do good. We would make semifinals, sometimes a final. But I remember one time we beat Brazil. We played always Argentina good, but we lose. We beat Uruguay, Paraguay. And I felt like that made us better, in '06, probably one of the best Mexico. Or before, I sorry, the '05 team with La Volpe to the '06, they had that roce with those teams. And, it made you proud of that team, made you feel like, we could compete. Now, I mean, to be honest, you kind of lose interest on the Mexico team because it's always the same thing. They get you hype. And I don't know, I don't feel that, you could say that attachment, man. I mean, I'm going to support, I'm going to watch, but that's how I feel. That's how I feel. So I'm happy they're in the Copa America. I feel like it's going to benefit them. They're not going to have qualifiers because obviously they already qualified to the World Cup. So they need to take this Copa America seriously. They need to bring their A game. But what do you guys think? I mean, I know I didn't see Quinones play, but I heard he wasn't that good. Santi Jimenez, he keeps scoring in Europe, but when he wears the green, he's kind of iffy. What do you guys think? What do you guys think the Mexico team needs? I think they should stick with Lozano. I feel like he's a good coach for the team. He played. He knows the Mexican players. Obviously, they like playing for him. But I don't know. I don't know about what do you guys think? I mean, I felt like what was it? The Russia World Cup. You could whatever you could say it. I know a lot of people didn't like that coach Osorio, but I liked him because he was smart. He was a smart coach. The only thing is he would just every game he would switch off his players, but I liked his system. The team, they had an identity. They touched the ball well. They played from the back. They were deadly on the counters. So I want to see that. I want to see a style of play from Mexico because it's always they play through the wings, cut back, or fucking what's his name, Antuna. He does this, and does nothing. I'm tired of that. They need a new starting. Yeah, bring Chicha back, man. He's liar, liar. Yeah, you are. Um, they need, but I mean, he's coming off injury. He hasn't played in a year. They got, you could say they got players. I mean, Chucky. like I said, Jimenez, the Santi Jimenez, Quinones. Their defense is good. Goalie, that goalie, I didn't know who. I guess he's one of the best Mexican goalies right now for America, but it's still San Ochoa. But he is getting old. He's almost he's 40. So, like I said, we'll see how they do in Copa America. Because USA, they got amazing players. They all play in Europe. They're all some of them. They do are starters. They have that, like I said, that experience. They have that, and they're all in kind of like their prime age, and they've been building up for a couple years now. Pulisic is what 24, 25. He's played with Chelsea, Champions League winner, by the way. He plays with Milan now, big team. So they got players. They got players. Canada, they got Davis. They got their forward that plays in is playing in Monaco or Lille, one of those teams. He's a top scorer there. So even in the Concacaf, we're usually always the best team, but I want to say, USA, man, I'm very intrigued of how they're going to look in the 2026 World Cup. I feel like they could win it. You heard it here first. They could win it. But then you got, the greats, France. You got Brazil. They got a good up and coming team. Neymar probably won't be there anymore, but their young players are good. Vinicius, they got good solid players. Spain with their young team. By the time it's 2026, they'll all, like I said, they'll all be in their primes. England. So it's gonna be an amazing World Cup. I can't wait. Can't wait. But was Honduras robbed? No, I don't think so. But I just feel like Mexico, it shouldn't have gotten to that point. So shout out to all the catrachos if you watch. I heard y'all play with cocos. But anyways. Okay. When the paletero comes, what's your choice? Great question. So I was thinking about this on my way from the gym. So when it's the paletero man with the little cart, go to paleta de tamarindo or paleta de limon. Back in the day. Something I noticed, I don't really see them anymore. I feel like when I was a kid, they were always around walking. I used to live in apartments when I was younger. They would at least come like 3 times a day. Summer, 5 times. Y era $1. $1, me da una de limón, tamarindo, or the drumstick one, but the cookies and cream, easy. That would be my 3 picks. Now, if it's the ice cream truck, Snorstorm. It was what, 150, 125, estaba cara, but you get the cup, you grab the wooden spoon after school. That or Lays de Limon con chile. That's another one. And then the Paletero taco truck, sometimes they had toys. So they had the cool Beyblades, the metal ones, or they had the laser pointers. I remember I always wanted a laser pointer, but back then that was like their most expensive thing was probably like $10, but you couldn't take it to school because I don't know, they didn't want to point it. They didn't want you to point at people's eyes. So that was the go-to, or the little white popping things, the también, and you would like throw it to people's feet and they were getting shot. But Snowstorm, the paletero carrito, una paleta de limón, tamarindo. I forgot about those. Yeah, Bunny. The tamarind, yeah, the paleta one. Oh, you know what I remember because you said choco taco. Remember the yeah. You wrote it right here. That's probably the best ice cream ever. Like when they had the Stone Cold Steve Austin one, and even the card. Oh, you're bringing back memories with that one. But that like cookie ice cream, the WWE WWF ones, amazing ice cream. Do you remember the gum cigarettes? Yeah, I remember those. I remember those. Or do you remember the shocker ones? I think they sold it the ice cream truck too, where okay, you grab the gum and then it shocks you. That one. Good question. Nostalgia, yeah. Good question, yeah. Like I said, I don't see them anymore. Actually, around here, I live in the hood, so I do see some paleteros, but now they're like $2, no, or 150, like a paleta de limon. Before it was $1, or before. Whoever's watching this and lived, I used to live Oak Avenue. Remember the ice cream, the paletero man que te decía campeón. He'll hook it up. If he liked you, he'll just give it to you for free. Y te say campeón. So shout outs to him wherever he's at. Hopefully he ain't dead. Not even $5. Damn, it ain't how it used to be, man. Uh we got best stadium food you've had. I don't really get food at I like stadiums, but I will say probably the best place that has the best food I would say is Oracle Park where the Giants play. Um, I like their what's it called? Their garlic fries. I love they have man I forgot Giladaris hot chocolate. Oh, best hot chocolate when it's cold. You know, you go to the Giants game and it's cold. Ya se acaba el partido. You order it. Lo chingas. That's good. That obviously the what do they sell? What's their famous thing? The lobster rolls or the crab cakes? I don't know. That's good. The pizza. Oh yeah, I've had pizza there. It's pretty good. So I would say probably there's the best food. At Levi Stadium, since I'm season ticket holder, they give us free food. This past game, Bonnie, you know, I got a hot chocolate. It was basically hot water. So I guess the best thing I had that day was the popcorn with the M&Ms. I put them on, Bonnie. I know you know. What's it got? Best Paletero Rojo. Which one's that one? Don Ramon. Yeah, that's the one. Don Ramon. Chiva Hermano. Hot water at Levi's. Number one. Um, yeah, Don Ramon. Hopefully he's doing good, man. He probably. I mean, he back then he was old, and that was what like 20 years ago, more. Hopefully you're doing good, Don Ramon. But yeah, I would say, or you know what other place was pretty good. I've been once. Um, Chase Center, man. Chase Center. They got like food from like they got. I think they got lumpia. They got. I've heard they got like a bunch of like different like cuisines. But I remember I think I got like a burger there. It was good. So Chase Center, but hands down, Oracle Park, man. They got the best food. When I used to drink, man, those beers right there, they just taste different. So that's one definitely. Now, this question, you know, hurts the soul, man. As you may know, I'm in 3 leagues. So let's start with the league that I'm doing the best. I'm 9-2, 9-3, dominant team. Um, I guess I can break down what I did right in those leagues, and then we'll obviously talk about. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's the one I had. That one. Best live sports to watch: soccer, football. Actually, soccer, soccer. Football's fun. Baseball, actually, baseball is the best to go watch live, but I'm not really focused on the game. If I'm all honest to you, um, so I like the that stadium. But football, I guess soccer number one, then football. I don't think fights. Actually, fights live. I will say this: depending on where you sit, is not that cool. I like watching it on TV because if you sit on the wrong spot, te cubre uno of the like the cage. You know how they have like the little palos, and if it covers your view, it's not that cool. So you gotta kind of watch it up high. But before I get to a couple questions right here, ¿cuántos goles mete el Ame mañana? What was that? No, I don't know, man. Let's say 3. Who they play? Let me know. Okay. Where did I go wrong? So actually, I'll share my screen here. I can tell you exactly how I went wrong. I don't know if you guys could see good. If I can zoom in. Bear with me. Okay, so obviously this is the league I'm in. Probably the most important league I'm in. It's my league. I'm the commissioner. Haha. It's our 10th year. Big buy-in. Winner makes a good change. Leon 3-0. I got him at 3-0. Book it. This good, puppies? This zoomed in? But so as you can see here, I was picked 12th. So my thought, I'll give you my breakdown, my thought process, right? All these players went, right? If AJ Brown was at 12, I go AJ Brown, no question. But Fremont, he picked him, right? So my thought was, okay, I have 12, and then I pick again because it reverses. Or like you pick again when you're 12, and then you pick again. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna pick two running backs, solid running backs, and the rest of the draft. So in this league, sorry, in this league, it's PPR. We have three receivers, so you get three receivers and a flex. So potentially four receivers, two running backs, tight end, normal. But we do three receivers. So I said at this point, the receiver. Obviously, hindsight is 2020, right? I would have probably gone here, CD Lamb. That's around here. That I probably should have gone CD Lamb. But obviously, Chidi picked him, and Chidi's 10-1, so obviously he knew something. But CD Lamb, right? But at this time and this moment, Aaron Rodgers wasn't injured, so I was debating should I go like Barkley, Garrett Wilson, because I was like Garrett Wilson's about to blow up with Aaron Rodgers. But then I was, I don't know. So I'm like, you know what? I'll go Saquon Barkley, Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard had a solid season the previous one. Saquon Barkley, yes, there's injury concerns, but when he's on, he's on. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll go Barkley, Pollard. Barkley got injured. Pollard's been inconsistent. He's had solid games. He's had games where he doesn't do pretty good. La cagué. What I've done different, I go CD Lamb, and I probably still go Pollard because, like I said, he's been okay. Now, like I said, I was the 12th pick, so I went again, but then I wait a long time, and then we got all these players going: Mahomes, Lamb, Amon Brown. So now, pasas aquí, Najee Harris, Dalvin Cook, as pick. He's also one of the last places in the league. Calvin Ridley, eh. Olave, pretty solid. Etienne, good. Mark Andrews, fortunately got injured, but he was good. Kenneth Walker. See, I could have. Running backs were still there if I would have waited, right? I could have gone with Ramondre Stevenson, Jamari Gibbs. Obviously, I would have had to wait 4 weeks by Alvin Kamara. But I decided, all right, again, he picked the player I was looking at. Debo, he hasn't had a solid season either way, so I'm la hubiera cagado too. But I went T. Higgins, George Kittle. My thought process. Every year that I've played fantasy, the winner always has a solid tight end. Mark Andrews was gone. I think that was the only one gone. So I said, you know what? Oh, Kelsey was gone too. Let me go for my boy George Kittle. George Kittle, lately he's been picking it up. But ya pa qué? It's over for me. I'm 2-10. But T. Higgins, man. And my good friend said, never pick a number two receiver to be your number one. Because A, Jamar Chase is the main guy there. But the other thing is he's been injured like most of the season. So what could I have done here? So like I said, since I went to running backs, it was tough for me to go with another running back. But I was looking at this guy right here, Keenan Allen. Right now he's ranked number two receiver in fantasy. What was Gio thinking in that day? That day Gio was thinking, ya está viejo. He always gets injured. I don't know. Mike Williams is, the one up and coming. I'll pass. Well, I made that mistake. So that's one. That's one I can look back. This is another one right here. Devontae Smith. If I would have gone Devontae Smith, Keenan Allen, we talking different. We talking for sure maybe playoffs. What do you guys think? That was probably what I should maybe even Amari Cooper. If I went quarterback, you could say Lamar Jackson. Sorry, David, but stupid trade, man. What you gave up. Stupid trade. Letting go of Lamar Jackson. I digress. So that's one. That's one that you look back and you're like, ah. But let's look. Okay, I went T. Higgins, George Kittle. DJ Moore, he's been solid. He's had games where he's had 51 points. He's had games where he's had maybe 6 points, but he gets 15, 10, 20. So that would have been the A. If I went Keenan Allen, Devontae Smith, DJ Moore, we talking different. Let's see what we got. Oh, it's too much, but it's more about me. Let's not put other people down. But let's say I would have gone Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, Keenan Allen, Devontae Smith, DJ Moore. Look who's here. Who I've got in my other two leagues, and that's why I'm doing good. DeAndre Swift. He went late. Am I missing here players before I get there? Jonathan Taylor, you wait 4 weeks. Justin Herbert, a good one. Justin Fields, he was good at the beginning, but Damian Pierce asked. Deontay Johnson injured. Mike Williams out for the season. Waller injury poll. Mike Evans is another solid one. This one right here hurt. That's another thing I will say that I've learned this season. Brandon Ayuk, all my mock drafts, I was getting him. I should have thought, I'm in the league with a bunch of Niners fans. He's going to go early. I should have, I should have pulled the trigger earlier. I didn't want to. I was being cocky. I wanted to wait because I was gonna pick him here, but obviously I was, he wouldn't have got him to look. Niner fan. No llega. Hawkinson, good tight end, but I'll get to the tight ends because in my other leagues I went late and I got good ones. So more, I picked Hopkins and Chiviejito. He's playing good now, but I don't want to bore you guys anymore. But like I said, this is the last one here. In my mock drafts, I was picking Dakota Prescott. I was going to take him here. But I said, you know what? Trevor Lawrence is going to have a breakout, like an elite breakout season. Let's go Trevor Lawrence. He's probably not even on I think he's on my bench. I don't even use him. But I should have gone. I didn't pick Dak Prescott because I thought, he mediocre, but he's having a great fantasy season. Great fantasy season. Maybe he's having a great season, but fantasy-wise, amazing season. I have him in one of my leagues. That's how I know. So I should have gone Dakota Prescott there. Let's see what other core. See, he was right here. Sharavani. Let's see, what do we got here? This one right here, Isaiah Pacheco. See, I could have waited late. Pacheco's been solid. Ass. He's good. Good. Ass. Eh. Eh. Good. That's a good pick right here. Ass. I think he's on waivers now. In Jigba. Rogers, ass. This player's ass too. Good pick. Great pick right here. Have him in one of my leagues as well. Doing good in that league. What a surprise. But like I said, yeah, these rounds was, I got to a lay that you could say that's a great pick. I had Charbonnet because I thought, but yeah, Paquet también. So I thought, let's stop. So that's my story. That's my story of how I went 2-10. Great learning experience, I would say. Humbling. But in my other leagues, I'm 9-3, and in my other league, I'm playoff contention, and I might win those leagues. My other league, I was picked number 9, and I got Tyreek Hill. Wow, because someone in that league picked Brock Purdy in the first round. Whatever. Fuck fantasy. He did. Well, oh, I had a couple questions here before I we answered that one. America, yeah, La America. Top five sports podcasts. We're talking about this. So I like the pivot because I feel like a lot of athletes that they get there, they feel comfortable because they're surrounded by other athletes. It's not like because they, I guess they kind of know what they're all about, right? Like they know they've all been through, they all share similar experiences, so they get to be more loose. That's a good one. I used to like the one with Brandon Marshall, but since everyone left him, I don't think he even does it anymore. That one's good. Which other one? I watch. I don't know if you guys watch the. If you're Niners fans, you probably do. The Warner House. That one's good too. It's Fred Warner and his wife. Okay, I'll hurry up. I'll hurry up. Sorry. That one's good. The Fred Warner one. He talks about what happens in the games. They also talk about life. That's a good one. I feel like I'm missing a lot. Oh, Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco. That's a great one. That's a great one. They always go like after Sunday night football. There's always a night game at the end. Like at the end of the day, there's a great one. There's a lot of. They have great chemistry. They go back and forth. They have some funny moments. That one, and also Shannon Sharp's own show. That's a good one too. The what's it called? The Shea Room. That one's a good one. So that's four. And then number five is the Giojackson show. All right, guys, I'm tuning out. Thank you guys again. If you've been here, this one was a pretty long one. Thank you. If you watch this later, thank you for watching. Leave a comment, like. Always let me know about your questions on IG. Follow the IG, the Geo Jackson Show. Also, the Alexis episode is out. It's a long one. You put it on the background, get some popcorn, enjoy what Alexis has to say, the many stories he has, the way he talks. Enjoy it. Thank you guys again. I'm out. Peace.